Alright, so I had a little hiccup there. Sorry about that. So what we're going to do actually is we are going to square these. So, negative sine of theta squared is sine of theta squared. How about that? And then this will be minus cosine of theta squared. And then this is over negative sine of theta minus cosine of theta. This is equal to the right hand side. So this is just squaring stuff. Alright, so now I'm going to factor this. So I have a sine theta squared minus a cosine theta squared on the top, and a sine, well, I have negatives here, so minus sine theta on the bottom minus cosine theta on the bottom. So it looks like I kind of have two copies of something on the top and one copy of that same thing on the bottom, sort of. So sometimes you can factor things and that'll help you out. What I'm trying to get at is cosine theta minus sine theta, and I had this extra sine theta minus cosine theta on the top here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor this and pretend that this is like x squared minus y squared. And anytime you see this, you can do a difference of two squares. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to rewrite this as sine of theta minus cosine of theta times sine of theta plus cosine of theta. Okay, so that's our classic difference of two squares factorization. And then this will be over, and I want the stuff on the bottom to, I want it to look like one of these because I want to be able to cross this out. So on the bottom I have minus sine theta minus cosine theta. Well, if I factor out a negative on this bottom here, I can make it look like this right term. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to factor it. I have minus and then factored sine theta plus cosine theta. And then this equals the right hand side. So this was all factoring. Alright. So now we're almost there. I can cross these out. So this is all crossed out because they're duplicates. So now I'm left with, and I'm going to write this over here, I have sine theta minus cosine theta over a negative 1. So this is crossing out, or simplifying. And then if I'm dividing by negative 1, that's the same as multiplying by negative 1. So I'm going to rewrite this as minus sine theta plus cosine theta. And then lastly, I'll just switch these around. It'll be cosine theta minus sine theta. And that was equal to our original, which was cosine theta minus sine theta. And so we're done. So that's a long one. Sometimes these are very long. And the trick is you want the left side to look like the right. Yeah? So try to imagine the goal here. The goal here is cosine theta minus sine theta. Try to imagine what you could do to this. What steps can you do to this to make it look like this? Well, I know I had squares on top and singles on the bottom. So the top was basically double the bottom. And I wanted just one copy of each. So I know I needed to factor somehow, because factoring would allow me to cancel stuff out. Okay. Alright. Let's just move right on to the next one. Okay, establish the identity. So I have 1 plus tangent theta over 1 plus cotangent theta equals tangent theta. So first thing I want to do here is rewrite in terms of cosine and sine. So let's go ahead and do that. I have 1 plus tangent is sine theta over cosine theta, and that's going to be over 1 plus cosine theta over sine theta. This equals the right hand side. And these are just, what I did here is quotient identities. So now what I want to do is I want to basically squeeze this all down, and to do that I need to be able to combine the terms on the top and combine the terms on the bottom. So I know I need a common denominator, so I'm going to multiply this 1 here by the cosine. So I have cosine theta over cosine theta plus sine theta over cosine theta, right? Cosine over cosine is still 1. And then I need to multiply this 1 by the sine to get common denominators. So that's going to be sine theta over sine theta plus cosine theta over sine theta, and that equals the right hand side. So this is common denominators, common denominator. And then I'm going to come up here. So if I have a common denominator, I can move the bases together. So now I have cosine theta plus sine theta over cosine theta over sine theta plus cosine theta over sine theta. Alright, equals the right hand side. So now I'm going to sandwich these. Well, I call it the sandwich technique. You might call it the multiplying by the reciprocal of the denominator, which is a mouthful, but I just call it the sandwich. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom together and the insides. So I get sine theta times cosine squared, cosine theta plus sine theta over cosine theta times sine theta plus cosine theta equals the right hand side. And do you see how these are the same? So it's addition, so I can use the property of addition that says that left to right, right to left is the same. So I can cross these out here. This is like, imagine this is 1, that's 2, and this is 2, and that's 1, so they're both 3. So I can just cross that out. And then, so this is crossing out, cross out. Sine theta over cosine theta equals tangent, and that's what we're trying to equal. So we're good there. So that's our quotient ID. That's our last step. Okay, so number 9 is in your book. I'll leave you guys to do it. Basically what you want to do is FOIL this out and see how you're going to get to tangent squared. You might have to use one of your Pythagorean identities. Which one to use, I will not say. That's up to you to find out. Work together in doing this, and you will achieve great things. I believe in you guys. Alright, I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Bye.